So Earth to Echo isn't the worst movie I've seen all year, but it's just not very good. This is supposed to be sort of a modern E.T., and unfortunately it has a lot of modern problems with it. First of all, there's one gripe about the film that I feel a lot of people are going to have, and that's the way that the film is shot. It's shot in a sort of shaky cam YouTube faux documentary style. Which isn't a bad style, I just like it better in other movies. I mean, I like Cloverfield, and I honestly kinda liked it a little bit here. It did give that a unique feel to it. But I feel it's going to be a turnoff to too many people. One thing that was a turnoff for me is the kids. They are really annoying. They're sort of the outcasts in their neighborhood. There's the YouTube nerd, the stereotypical nerd, and then the cool nerd who's into indie music. There's also a girl who they call the mannequin. The story starts where the main character, Tuck, is talking about the neighborhood being shut down or just being destroyed because they're making a freeway in the middle of it. First of all, why do you need to destroy a neighborhood for a freeway? People just don't destroy people's homes to make roads, do they? Does that happen? Is that a thing that actually happens? I mean, it didn't look like a beat down neighborhood, it looked like recent, like it was built in the 90s. Anyway, there's more problems with that, but I'll explain later. Anyway, Tuck, he's filming his friends explaining that the neighborhood is something special to them and they don't want it destroyed. Later on, all their cell phones start acting up and it turns out it's a map, what shows up on their cell phone, that is. So they decide during their last night in the neighborhood, since it's going to be destroyed, they're going to go find where this map leads to. So they lie to their parents that they're staying at each other's houses, but they're not actually staying at anybody's houses. They're going to go find this thing in the desert. And they're in Nevada, by the way, which is, you know, a state that exists only for Las Vegas. Once they get to where the map leads them, they find Echo, which is the alien, but they don't name it that yet. It's just the alien that's in a little ship-shaped thing. It doesn't really do anything to begin with, but then it starts beeping and they freak out. Then it shows them another map on their phones, so they go to that, and it turns out it's trying to get a lot of parts so it can rebuild its ship. So all throughout the movie, they're going to these different locations to get these parts, until they're finally caught by these construction guys who have been following them around trying to get the little alien guy. Because, surprise, surprise, the construction guys for the freeway aren't actually construction guys, they're like CIA people or something. I'm getting into spoiler territory now, so if you don't want to know what happens, stop watching the video, but honestly, it's not really worth it. So I'm going to tell you what happens anyway. One of the construction guys takes Echo from the kids while they're in a diner, and then Munch gets in the back of one of the construction guys' trucks, and it leads them to the construction site for the freeway, which I guess is the part that's supposed to lead into the neighborhood. So they sneak in and they try to get Echo, but they get caught, and now they're trapped, and they're just taking them with them. The construction people, that is, the CIA people, they're taking the kids with them to wherever they're going, which is a dump. And Echo, while at the dump, actually takes all the metal parts he can find to construct his little ship thing, which is actually not a ship, it's actually a key to his ship. Because apparently the ship is actually under the neighborhood, which is why the construction guys or the CIA or whatever needed to destroy the neighborhood so they could get to the spaceship. Even though they said they needed Echo to get to the spaceship. Even though they knew where the spaceship was, so why did you need him? Also, Echo has been leading these kids all over Nevada when they could have just gone to a dump and get all the pieces there. So then Echo builds a wall of metal so they can get away from the construction people, and then they take a van to go away. But then they almost get hit by a tractor-trailer truck, but then Echo does that thing that he does in the movie trailer, and then they go back to one of the kids' houses because that's where Echo leads them to. And since the spaceship is underground, the key thing like goes down there underground, and it turns out, since Echo can do that thing with a truck, he can also do it with a spaceship. So the spaceship starts coming in different parts underground. But if it's going to do that, wouldn't the neighborhood just, like, sink because of so many holes that are being created? Because it turns out the construction guys are trying to get the spaceship because they don't want it to leave because the neighborhood would be destroyed or something. Because they think it's just going to come up and then, like, all these houses are going to fall over or something. By the way, it's actually morning now, so people are out. You actually see one of the kids' moms out, and the pieces of the spaceship are flying up, making the ship that is as big as the neighborhood. And then Echo takes off. And this is the part of the movie where I was just like, no, you can't do that. Because the kid's mom who is running says, did any of you see that spaceship? And then the parents of another kid says, did you guys feel that earthquake? What? You can't tell me that people didn't see that. It's as big as the neighborhood. And then Tuck, the main character, the main kid, he says to the camera that he's recording with, by the way, he's actually recording all of this, so, like, he has proof. He says, only we know. What? That's the point of the movie where I was like, okay, there's way too many plot holes in this already. Don't tell me that people aren't going to know that this happened in this universe. You're having a big flying spaceship in the middle of the morning where the sun is out and people are awake. How are they missing that? Anyway, yeah, the movie's not that good. Don't go see it. It's not worth it. Next time I'm going to see Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which I'm hoping is really good because I really like the first one of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. If you haven't seen that, go watch it because it's really good. I'm sure the sequels will probably be good. I hope it is. Anyway, so I'm going to review that next time. Bye! Hey, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share it. And be sure to subscribe for videos I upload every week. And if you're feeling really generous, check out my Patreon page. And as always, thank you for watching.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to take it.